I wanted to talk about times when your ability to be present and kind of like really experience and enjoy a situation is kind of hampered by some type of agenda of something that you feel like you need to accomplish in this situation. So just some basic examples of that, and something I experience a lot is if I'm taking any type of like small trip, for example, or I'm out doing something maybe a little bit outside of my usual. I'm going to somewhere new, or there's somewhere that I might have just like more interesting footage I could possibly get. I feel kind of conflicted because on one hand, I can just kind of go into that, like say I'm just taking a trip somewhere to like a new city or something like that. And I think one thing is it's nice just to go without trying to film anything. Like if I'm, thinking about making a vlog about it or just trying to document the experience somehow, or maybe if I'm on the lookout for just some scenic spots, to go make like a talking outside video like this. If I'm not thinking about any of those things, I feel like I can really enjoy the experience. I feel much more present in it. A lot more able to just kind of like go with the flow of whatever's happening. And I just in general enjoy it a lot more versus when I feel like I have to like have an eye out for I need to like get these, I almost have like a shot list in my head. Like I need to get, some scenes outside in this place, and then maybe some more close-up things inside, some shots of like me doing something, some shots of like if I'm with other people, them doing things to try and like create like a narrative if I'm making a vlog or something like that. And sometimes it's kind of hard to find the balance of those things, because I do like making videos, and I like to, I feel like I just have, to some degree, I'm always just kind of thinking about like, what something might look like on camera, like if I'm taking pictures or I want to make some videos, something like that. And I enjoy just kind of like keeping an eye out for that stuff. But when I'm actually trying to do it, I feel kind of like pulled out of the moment a lot of times. Like I'm not really fully experiencing it because, part of me is seeing it from like an analytical point of view. And I'm not quite sure how to find a good balance with that a lot of time. Sometimes I just choose to not take anything. Like maybe I take a camera and, if I'll get like a couple just pictures, something like that feels like a pretty low commitment. Just if I happen to see something that I think looks scenic, I can just take a picture of that and move on. But I'm not just kind of like out hunting for shots to take just for the sake of getting a picture. When I'm making videos, a lot of times I am focusing more on just that agenda of I need to like get certain types of footage to fill out this vlog or whatever I'm trying to do. Sometimes I choose not to do that at all. Sometimes I choose to do it. And sometimes I think the worst way to approach it, which I do sometimes, is in an attempt to be more present with the situation. I go in and I just think, I would like to document this somehow. I'm going to kind of get some footage, but not worry too much about it. I'll just get, whatever I get in the moment. And then when I'm home later, I can edit it and put some type of documentation together. And a lot of times with that, I just end up not, it just feels like a very incomplete project. I just end up not filming enough. It just ends up being very short, and disjointed. I end up not getting enough for it to feel like it's complete in any way, but I still kind of like take myself out of the moment because I am kind of like taking videos with an agenda like that. I think that's just kind of the worst, because then I don't even have like a good product at the end of it. I just kind of end up with some half-ass footage because I'm trying to like not. I'm still trying to be present in the moment, but you know, I still get pulled out of it trying to get these shots. I think the best situations is when I go in and I choose to not get anything. I'm like, I'm just gonna go, I'm not gonna worry about getting anything like that. And sometimes little things will kind of like just moments, like things that I think would have been a good option to film or whatever. Those will like pass me by, and that kind of takes me out of it too a little bit sometimes when I see something that I think, oh, you know, this would be good. This would be some good footage that I could use, or at least just something to have that I can appreciate just on my own, even if I'm not using it for anything. And but just kind of like having that in mind, I'm not going to get anything. I do not want to make a project out of this experience. I feel like I can much more easily just be present and like enjoy whatever I'm doing. And then if I go in with that project in mind and just kind of knowing my tendency to like take myself out of the moment and kind of focus too much on I need to get these certain shots, I need to like, you know, have a balance of footage throughout the day, make sure I'm filming each location that I'm at just at least a little bit, so I have kind of like a full picture. And that can take me out of it sometimes, but just with the goal of having a complete project, I feel like kind of helps me stay on track a little bit, because I can, you know, say if I'm just visiting a new city or something, in each location, I can like try and think of what the narrative I want to put across is. Like, you know, maybe like driving down there, I'll make like 1 or 2 clips in the car just saying, you know, I'm going out to this place, you know, this is the reason I want to go. I want to like hit up these spots, just that kind of stuff. And then, you know, maybe a couple clips of, you know, the first place, maybe I just park downtown somewhere and, you know, just say, you know, I'm going to walk around, I'm going to go find this spot that I read about, and then, you know, maybe film on the streets, a couple clips, maybe a couple clips in the first spot I go to. You know, if I'm just going to some various stores or things like that, just kind of wandering around, just trying to get like a couple clips of different things. So it doesn't just look like I'm saying, I'm going to be out here wandering around and then I just have no clips of what's happening. It's just that, and then it moves on to the next thing. And I try and just a little bit to kind of like fill in the time, like at least somewhat accurately represent what I'm doing. And then, you know, maybe I go to a park to eat or something, and can maybe just get some more like nature-y shots, just some more scenic stuff, maybe just film myself talking about the day so far a little bit, a couple clips like that, and just kind of repeat throughout the day so that I have like a little bit of each place, but I'm not spending the whole time I'm at a place just thinking about trying to get these shots. You know, if I'm in a store, maybe I just get like 1 clip of just like walking around just a little bit and just, you know, trying to be kind of like discreet about it and not being like, I don't know, I don't want to be like obnoxious to the staff there, you know, other people in the store. Just try and get like a quick little thing. And then once I get that, you know, that's just, I go in with the goal of doing that, and then, you know, that part of the video is finished, and then I'm kind of like back fully in the moment until I, you know, leave and go somewhere else. So I think that's a good way. At least that's a, you know, a somewhat balanced way I approach making videos sometimes. Usually what I end up doing is one of the other options, which is why I don't have very many vlogs out. I end up just choosing to not film anything because I don't want it to be too distracted, or I just kind of half-ass it and I get like a little bit of footage, but then it's never enough to make a very good or accurate representation of what I did. I think that's kind of a bummer, to go in like that and it just kind of feels like a waste of time, just going in, and I kind of like took myself out of the moment sometimes just to get some footage and then, or pictures, or whatever. I keep going back to this example, but this could really be anything if you go in with some type of agenda. So I kind of like take away from the experience while I'm doing it, and then I have nothing to show for it. Like I don't, a lot of times I do that and I try and put together a vlog later, and it's just not good. It doesn't really have a good like starting or ending point. I feel like I've left out a lot of the experience. I didn't really get any footage of it. It just seems kind of random. It'll be very lopsided. Like, maybe I'll have a lot of stuff from one location, and then, several other places I went, I won't have anything. And then maybe somewhere else I'll just have like 2 clips, but I really needed a lot more to really show like what was going on. And then I'll get to edit it and I'll start putting it together. And even while I'm doing it, I can kind of tell like this isn't going to be very good. I don't think I'm going to even post this anywhere. And, maybe I'll get like halfway through, even put all the clips together and have some kind of like basic editing done, and then just decide to scrap it. I ended up doing that more than anything, I think. But it is a balance to do. I'm not really sure the best way to do it. And especially if I'm out, I think it's a little bit easier to do it if I'm on my own, although it's like a little bit more awkward, and I feel more self-conscious about it, just kind of like filming, stuff out in public. If I'm with somebody else, it's a little bit easier on that front. I don't feel quite so self-conscious just being out with somebody else, but then I'm much more likely to not end up getting any footage or pictures, because I don't want to, not only do I not want to take away from my own experience and be kind of distracted with this goal-oriented thing when I'm just trying to hang out and do something else, but I don't want to take away anybody I'm with's experience either, and have them waiting up on me while I try and get footage. Or maybe it's annoying if I'm trying to film, just like if I'm out with some friends or something, and I think it would be kind of annoying to just have somebody just trying to like film a bunch of that. You just want to like hang out and be natural, and it's fine just to get like a clip or 2 of like friends hanging out. But if I'm trying to like make it a little bit more of a narrative and like kind of like vlog that experience, I think that could just kind of like be an obstacle in the way of other people, and I definitely don't want to do that. And I tend to just like not film very much at all if I'm in those types of situations, even though it would be nice, even just for my own like records, just having some more videos of different situations that I'm with other people. So a lot of my stuff just ends up being me by myself, just because it's a little bit easier. I don't feel like I'm in danger of inconveniencing other people very much. But anyway, that's been my experience with that. I do like making vlogs. Well, maybe I should rephrase. I like having vlogs. I like having records of my days and experiences. I think that really helps me like experience time and just kind of like the progression of my life more easily and more accurately than just letting things kind of get, lost over time. So I do like that, just for me, if nothing else. And but it is kind of strenuous to just have that mindset of that analytical mindset of planes going by. I think, hoping this doesn't drown out the sound. I think I'm gonna edit that out. I think there were some like military planes or something. Oh yeah, just talking about vlogs. I do like to have it, but it does feel like a hassle a lot of times, just trying to film it. Even if I'm not doing anything in particular, I'm not like traveling anywhere, I'm not filming an event, I'm just like filming just a regular day where I do all the same stuff that I always do. Even that, you know, it takes me out of it. It's just like an extra level of thinking and things to do, trying to like film enough, have a balance of footage, and kind of like narrate through the day a little bit, so that it feels like there's a complete picture of the day. I have kind of like a beginning, I show what's happening, you know, maybe like a recap at the end. It doesn't just you know, end somewhere because I just ended up stopping filming things at some point, and then that's just the end of it. It doesn't really feel very complete. Same with the beginning. A lot of times I just start filming stuff, but I don't really talk about what's going on or have any type of like intro or, you know, kind of beginning to the story. I think that kind of stuff I would get better at if I just did it more often. The reason I don't is, you know, pretty much this whole video I've been talking about, just, you know, it takes me out of the moment, and it just feels like a lot of extra, especially just to film like mundane stuff, which is most of what I do, just like my regular daily life. So I like to do some more. I think just get better at kind of the balancing act of the whole thing. This is all supposed to be an intro to another video topic, but I just ended up talking about videos a lot, so I think I'll just make a part 2 to this.